Hi, welcome to another edition of Word on the Web. I'm so excited that you tuned in tonight. It is our desire every week to bring you not only a word, but a actual, factual picture of how that word is working in the lives of members who are part of Word Nation. And I'm happy tonight to have my sister, my girl, my buddy, one of the women who checks me and keeps me straight when I'm getting out of line. She's a friend and she's been with us. How long have you been now, Staci?
Maybe 14 years now.
14 years she's been a part of Word Nation, and I speak of none other than my sister Staci Wells is with us tonight. How you feeling, sis?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, y'all, let's just cat out the bag, and this is going to make sure she relax. This is something I almost have to twist her arm to do. Y'all, if y'all know Staci, she's, behind the scenes making sure stuff happen, and just being a part of this. Thank you so much. Tuesday, we had SB on, President of Brotherhood, and I thought it was only right and needed that you would come on and share with others. And there are two reasons why. Number one, I want to dispel this notion that many churches have that it's the pastor's wife that has to be over the women's ministry, right? And that's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on with that. That's one of the things. So if you're a pastor and you have a women's ministry, and perhaps your significant other, that's not our calling, that's not our gift, that's not our thing, don't feel bad if the Lord allows you or blesses you rather with someone who has the gifts and the skills to give leadership to the women in your ministry, because that's what we're doing here at Word. So I wanted to do that. The other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to introduce to the world, sis, how Women of the Word operates, because I think it's unique. Now, if you've been around the Bay Area any length of time, you know that Brotherhood has been strong for years, and it has really been one of the hallmark ministries of Word Nation. And as a result of that, we kind of get the stigma that all we deal with is men. And I have to confess that has been my focus for a long time, because let's face it, a whole lot of us need to get things together.
Right.
Good things together. So I wanted you to come on to share that. And so I'm excited again. Thank you for being here. Let's begin by sharing a little bit of your story and your journey in terms of how you came to Word and what the Lord has done just briefly since you've been here in terms of your own life. Because I know that there are some remarkable things that has happened. And let me just say before you get started, sis, I know that wherever you would have went, what God was going to do in your life, He was going to do. I don't want to just limit that to our ministry, but we were blessed to be a part of that. So tell us a little bit.
So I'm from San Francisco, so I moved over to Oakland and loved my church that I came from, but I just wasn't getting the word. I wasn't getting fed, and came to Word with my aunt, and Word was a little bit too much for me.
Now, when you said too much, explain that.
I came from a traditional church. In a traditional church, everything was done in a uniform way.
Yeah.
And I came here, and nothing was uniform at all. But I had to work Sundays, so I would have my earbud in my ear, and I would listen to you. I can't remember how you would come on the radio on something. I just can't remember what it was. And I would be like, oh, I know that pastor. I've listened to him. And I would just listen to you every Sunday at work. And then I got Sundays off. And I would come to Word and would come every Sunday. wouldn't join anything because, like I said,
it was just too much.
It was just too much.
I'm gonna come get the word and I'm gone.
And I'm gone.
I got you.
Not to mention, Oakland was new to me. Oakland was different. It's a lot different than San Francisco, but the word kept feeding me, and was in a relationship, and he hated word, but I still would come. I still would come. I would get fed. I would get what I needed, and coming to Word has, under the teachings of Bishop has changed my thinking, how I view things. Always knew the tithe from my old church, but just got more structured in paying tithes, and with that, I have no lack. I have no lack in. Even if I'm down to my last, God always opens up the door and makes sure that I have what I need. And but coming to Word has changed my life tremendously. Not just with Bishop teaching, just with the people that we meet that comes through the doors. I am an usher. Not only am I over the women, but I'm an usher. So just treating people all the same equally, and being over the women of Word, has been something different. Because I like to be behind the scenes. I don't.
I remember when I asked Staci, I said, Staci, I'm going in a new direction, and I prayed about it, and I think you would be perfect for this. And I never shall forget your words were, Bishop, I don't want to know about that. I don't want to know about that. And when I said it earlier, one of the sisters who, in my life, in terms of pastoring, when I've been out of pocket, say, nah, Bishop, you out of pocket. That ain't cool. And just appreciative of that. When you talk about coming to Word, getting the Word, not necessarily being a part of anything, and then becoming an usher. Now, were you an usher at your previous church?
I was an usher, secretary of Sunday school. I was in the choir. I did it all. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So now was that place your grandparents were?
No.
Okay.
I grew up in my family church, and then when I became a teenager, I kind of stopped going to church. And then I met my high school boyfriend, and his family went to that church.
Oh, okay.
So when I stopped going, he stopped going. But I continued to go.
Gotcha.
And I still go back and fellowship with them. So not on Sundays, but different things that they do. I go a couple times of the year over there.
One of the things that I wanted when I shared with you, and I'm sure you remember this, one of the things I wanted to get into a little bit of this if we may, is I wanted to create an atmosphere where sisters could come and have discussions about matters that were important to them. What I did not want, because we've got such a strong men's ministry, I didn't want to create an atmosphere where there would be a lot of men bashing. Right? There would be a lot of, well, he ain't this and he ain't that. And as true as that may be, I think a lot of times sisters gather, and because their focus is just upon the no goodness of the man and what he ought to be doing, that they miss out on opportunities to feed and, to grow themselves. And when I shared that with you, I had no idea, and this is my first time telling you this, and be public. I had no idea that you would bring an element that was beyond just somebody standing up teaching. Talk a little bit about how taking over Women of the Word brought, and this is to throw no shade on anybody who has been over Women of the Word before. Shout out to Lady D. But there was a different element that you brought to it. Talk about that element that you brought, just about the circle thing, and where did that come from? Why did you see the need to approach it that way?
So we wanted to, as the group of women, we wanted to come together, and we wanted to have a sisterhood. And with that, we wanted to do something more intimate, and with that we created the Sister Circle, which was a really good idea because everybody loves it. And with the Sister Circle, you can sit around in a circle and we're able to see each other instead of, because we tend to come in and sit 2, 3, 4, 5 rows behind each other, and I just didn't want that. I wanted us to be able to come in, because in a sisterhood, we all need to be together. We all need to be able to see each other, to be able to talk to each other, and just to heal as women. We wanted to create a circle where we could heal as women and not do the male bashing, because when you're doing the male bashing, we're at fault too. So we have to. We have our little topics of forgiveness, of healing, things that happened in your childhood to where you were brought, what made you be in the predicaments that you were. As far as some were not brought up in the church, some didn't have fathers, some were molested, some the parents didn't give them any attention. So we wanted to just do the Sister Circle and to heal. We want to heal each other as women, dark-skinned, light-skinned, all those different topics.
See, that's the kind of stuff that I'm appreciative about, and there's never a time when a sister comes on a Wednesday night, and it happens every Wednesday. You know, for those of you all who are watching that you're interested, it happens every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and it's not long. Y'all meeting for about
an hour.
About an hour,
unless it gets good.
Unless it gets good. And Staci is a stickler for time. Because Staci, we got to go to work. Hey, we got to get out of here now.
Got to go to work. But when I say unless it gets good, it's always good.
Yeah.
It's always good. But sometimes we get into topics and it just goes longer, and you never know who it might hit. So we have to go longer than an hour. One
of the things I appreciate about it, and in our conversations that we've had long before you became Director of Women of Ministry, is and has helped me and matured me in ways, and I'm appreciative of that state. But one of the things you would share with me often in our conversation was that this thing of women, and you mentioned it earlier, taking ownership of some of the stuff that's wrong with them, which I think is very unique, because in most times, and I think it's with people in general, but a lot of times I'm told that women have a tendency to look out the window and never look at the mirror.
Exactly.
Right? So having that is good. How do you keep this, because this is big, how do you keep the alpha syndrome from rising up? You a leader, but you got a team. Word sharers share lessons and stuff. And most times when women have groups, if you look long enough, there's one woman running everybody.
Right.
How do you keep that from happening?
It's not the Staci show. So, I make sure that I'm not the spotlight of it. We're all equal in the group. I'm just the one who's the director. But we ask for suggestions. I do have a team, and then I also work with some of the ladies, the word chairs, and we all come up and we agree upon what we're going to do. And even the women that are not on the team or word chairs, we ask for what they would like to see, and then we take it from there. That's big. What would you say to sisters who would watch this, who would want to be a part of what you guys are doing, but have had challenges with church, right? I remember having conversations with you where you were lightweight checking some foolishness I had done. Bishop,
but yet still making it about the word. What would you say to some sisters who are watching this and because of church hurt, because of some relationship, because we've had men and women come and go because things didn't work out in a relationship, right? Your boo made you mad or whatever the case may be. What would you say to that sister who wants to transition back into something, whether it's word or somewhere else? What do you think would be important for her to know about getting back in church or reconnecting with the Lord?
Well, first of all, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself, and for whatever reason you left or whatever issue you have to not look out the window and look at the mirror and see what exactly was the reason why, and come with an open mind, and not defensive. You can't be defensive. You can't heal in that way. Because it's all about healing, and you don't have to come to work, but you need to go somewhere, because if you don't, you're going to continue to have these struggles with yourself. So be open, look in the mirror and ask, why? Why did this happen? And did you have some part in it? And be honest about yourself, because you don't have to be honest with me or whoever, but you have to be honest with yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you lay your head on the pillow, you know the truth.
Stay right there, Word Nation. Bishop Clark will be right back to continue his lesson after these brief messages. Make sure to follow Word Assembly on our Facebook page at Word Assembly-Bishop Keith L. Clark. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Word Nation. Just click the link below to make sure that you get all of the new episodes of Word on the web. Word Assembly is still meeting the needs of our community. Every Tuesday and Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 1:30, Word Assembly is giving away free grab-and-go lunches at the Palace. The address there is 1445 23rd Avenue in the city of Oakland. And so if you're in the area and you're hungry, come on by and get yourself a free grab-and-go lunch. Available as long as supplies last. Could you use some daily inspiration to get you through your week? Then make sure to sign up for the Word of the Day, where every Monday through Friday, Bishop Clark is sending you a Word of the Day to get you through your day. Signing up is easy. Just call 844-967-3232, extension 803, and leave your name and number. Thank you so much to those of you that continue to support this ministry by way of your financial contributions. You are a big reason why Word Nation can keep doing what it's doing, sharing the Word of God and meeting the needs of our community. We know that God is going to bless you as you've been a blessing to us. If you'd like to give to the ministry, you can do so at Cash App at WAFC1. Or if you'd like to sow a seed for the word you've received, you can give directly to our bishop at his Words to Live By ministry on Cash App at W2LB2. You can also give by way of Word Assembly's church app on Tidely. All you've got to do is click the link below on your mobile phone and it'll take you directly to the download. Thank you in advance for your support. And now back to Bishop Keith Clark as he continues today's lesson.
And I mean, see, that's the kind of stuff. And if there's a brother who's watching this or a pastor, I think these are the kind of conversations I would suggest that you have with sisters who can be real with you. A little bit, and not much, but a little bit, because we transparent. Sometimes to the fault. Oh, God, we are. But just a little bit about your journey. Here it is. You just had a birthday party, 55, and I told Staci, y'all, Staci party. That was the new ballers party. Everybody who was somebody in the 80s, in the 90s was at Staci's party. And being this woman now, homeowner, got your own, working on your own business, good job. Your kids are doing well. You have some lovely kids, grandkids. Somebody would look at you now, Staci, and say, oh man, ain't nowhere in the world I can get that. Not knowing your journey, just a little bit, not much, where you are, but where did it begin?
Growing up, I was very naive. very naive, in an abusive relationship as a teenager. Easily swayed to a point, to not making good decisions. But each problem that I had to look at it, and I just grew, and I just tried not to make the same decisions. But it was some stumbling blocks. It was some stumbling blocks. Leading with my heart, letting my heart lead me, and not leading with my mind, knowing what I know to be right, but not listening to my mind, just going with my heart. But failed relationships, messed up credit, done credit twice all over again. This is my third time, 2 houses. First one with a boyfriend that I knew I shouldn't have bought the house with. Just a lot of mistakes, but I had to sit back and I had to look in the mirror and tell myself, you can't do it this way, you got to do it that way. But once again, I go back with Bishop's teaching. So with the mistakes that I made, and then with listening to Bishop's word, to your word, I just learned to make better decisions. Not saying that I'm doing everything right now, but I was on welfare. I had housing, and then I got my job. I sent 2 kids to college, but all my kids are doing well. Good jobs.
I didn't know that. See, you learn something every time. I didn't know. I knew there was some rough patches, but I didn't know the whole welfare piece and all of that.
Yeah.
And then getting the job, sending the kids through college. Wow, that's major.
Yeah, I had to. I wasn't on welfare all the time, but there was seasons where I had seasons where I had to get on welfare. I had housing, and then when I got the housing, I let it go. Started with 1 kid with daycare, ended up with 14, let the housing go. Then I landed my job, worked there, been there 19 years now. And just different struggles, but learning not to listen to my heart and to listen to what I knew to be right. Because at the end of the day, we all know what is right and what is wrong. We just choose not to listen to it.
And I think that statement alone is really where we miss it, right? I was talking in a video earlier, I think it was last week, where I talked about how it's not about perfection, it's about progress.
Right.
Having gone through what you went through, and here you are, on top, doing your thing, enjoying life. Our motto at Word is we learn from our past, enjoying our present, looking forward to our future. What has kept you from being, and I'm just throwing it out there, what has kept you? Because some people go through journeys and they come out, but they come out bitter. They come out angry. I've met men and women who go through stuff and then their anger motivates them. And so they accomplish stuff, but you have conversations with them, they mean, they nasty, in terms of attitude-wise. What has kept you to be somewhat level-headed in the midst? And I say that because I know personally, we've had conversations, people who've done you wrong, and you speak to them. And if need be, you would help them out. You see what I'm saying? And there are some people who, man, please, if you don't get up out of my face, girl, if you don't get up what's kept you there? And I know it's the word of God in prayer, and we don't minimize that at all. But in your own words, what would you tell a sister who's coming up, but she still has that bitterness or still has that anger, and justifiably so? How did you not succumb to that?
I did, just a little bit, and got a great relationship with my ex-husband. But if you know me, you know that he married a friend of mine. And for a long time, it stuck in my chest for years and years and years. But it wasn't until I let go that I was able to grow and I was able to live my life. Because as long as you carry that anger with you, you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow. You're not going to heal. And they're going on with their life while you're still angry and you're still bitter. You have to let it go. You have to let all that stuff go because you're not going to ever move forward in your life.
You've got to let it go if you want to grow.
That's right.
Ooh,
that's right.
You've got to let it go if you want to grow. And I know that's a word for somebody. I know you've been encouraged by this. If you know Staci, you know that what we got was just a small snippet of the life that she has, challenges she's been through in the life she's grown. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for your faithfulness, your friendship. And again, thank you for the time when you said, nah, Bishop, you're wrong. Thank you for that, because it's helped me to grow to be a better man. It's helped me to deal with people better. And I'm just looking forward to what God has in store for women of the word under your leadership. Any last words you want to maybe share with the people, sisters in particular?
Sisters, come out. We're every Wednesday, once we're over this pandemic, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. You don't have to be a member. We have women that come that are not members, and they come out and they enjoy it, and they're faithful. So just come out, just to hear the word, just to grow, just to be a part of our sisterhood and our sister circle, and just come out. We'd love to see you and welcome you with open arms.
And it is not something that is man-led. Every now and then, Staci lets me come in and teach, but for the most part, it's something that they're doing. And I want you to know that it has been a blessing to the women of our church, and I'm sure it will be a blessing to you. Forget what you've heard. Come see for yourself. Until next time, remember, you're alive, you're important, and you're changing for the better. Peace.
Bye.